Hello guys, you're welcome to the last topic of the Monday service cases in CRM 2016, which is the core part of the MB2 700 certification exam, which covers 15 to 20% of the whole exam questions. So in today's topic, we're going to go through the last point or the last topic, which is maintain and organize cases. So in this, we're going to maintain and organize cases by going through all the subtopics as you can see on your screen. So straight, we're going to start by identifying and applying default views. So if we go to case, so which is by going to the service work area, and we go straight to the cases, you realize that by default what you see there is my active cases. So which what this means is it's going to show you cases that you own. So how do we now actually change the default view? Now if you have the right privilege, you can you can come here to the more actions or more comments, and then you go to the system views, because what you have here is a system view. In the last lesson I showed us that you can actually create your personal views, which is going to be available just to you, but system views is what is applicable, what is accessible to all the users, and you need a system sysadmin, as in system admin or customization right, to be able to do this. So once you click on that, it gives you the default solution window, which I will explain that in other videos. But on the case, like I explained in other tutorials or other lessons, for every entity you have a set of views. Yeah, so now under the views you can see that the my active cases that we talked about is under here, which is my active case, which is, if you can see, the type is default public view, and that is the default view. So if you're going to change to any other view, let's assume we want to actually make use of my active case, all you have to do is just to select that, go to more actions, and then you click on set default, and that will set the view as a default view. So once we close this and then we refresh this, it will now load the all the cases using my active cases view. So that is how you deal with your default, or how you change your default views. The next one is how to actually assign cases. So we're going to open just any of these cases. So I'm opening up one, and once that is loaded, yeah, it's loaded now. And looking at, currently it's been assigned to me. The way you get to know is if you look at the owner here, it shows CRM admin, which is myself, which is the same person that is logged in here. So I can assign this case to someone else. You can come to the owner and you can just change, you click on there and then you look for my records, and you just change the owner right from there. Click on assign, and by default you see showing me, which you can actually change to user or team. So by doing so, it's going to load the list of users, the team, or the user, which is the CRM admin. So you can see that there are actually two users. So I'm going to change to CRM trainer, which is another user entirely. So I click assign, and you see that this is going to change to CRM trainer. So right now we've assigned this case from myself to another user. So the next one is how to cancel or delete a case. Cancellation of a case is just by clicking on cancel case, and what that will do is it's going to before I click confirm, so you see that currently the status here, it shows in progress. So if I cancel, it's going to set the status to cancelled. Like click confirm, and that will set the status to cancelled. So if I'm going to delete a case, it's just going to be by clicking the delete here. So I click delete, and that is all. The case is totally gone in the system. You cannot recover this case. Next one is a bulk deletion of cases. How do I, because what I just did now was just to delete the case I was working on. But what about if I want to delete more than one cases? You can do that by selecting the case you want to. You can select all the cases, or you can select just the cases that you want to delete. As you want to delete these cases, after selecting them, you just go to the delete right in the list in the view you're looking at. I'm not opening them up, so there's no need to open them up. All you have to do is just to do that from the list, from the view, right? So after selecting the cases you want to delete, just click on delete, and that will delete all the selected cases. And that is how you delete. You can also do some, if you're going to do more of a bulk deletion, if it's more than what can be displayed in the view, you can do so by clicking on delete, and you see the bulk delete. So a bulk delete will load more like a job where you can now specify the query as per what you really want to delete. So like look for cases, which is what we're actually the entity we're looking at currently, and it's going to use it active cases, which is the view we're using at the moment. You can change the view if you want, but we're going to leave it that way, so which means we are interested in deleting active cases. So, and you can see the criteria which shows status equals to active. So if I'm okay with that, in the sense that I want to delete all active cases, I can just go ahead and click next. Or I want to specify other criteria, this is more like a way of you building the query. So I can do that. And once I click on next, you see it automatically generate the name for the job, and the time is going to start. You can set the time in the later future. So maybe you want to run the job in the later on, you can do that. You can also set how frequent that's going to be run, maybe every 30 days. So you can do that, and once you set this up, it will set up a job. So I'm not going to do this. So it will set up a job that will delete it's going to set up an asynchronous job that is going to delete the cases in bulk. Now, how do we resolve a case? So I'm going to open up this particular case because it's an active case, so that means it's yet to be resolved. A resolved case will not be will not have a status as in progress. It will be resolved. You can resolve a case by merely clicking on the menu. I can see the resolve case here, and you click on resolve. Type a resolution, which is mandatory, and I click resolve. So now it's resolved, and you can see the status as problem solved. So that is all about this case. How do we reactivate the case? So we can do that by clicking on the reactivate case, and then you're going to more like make this back to in progress. So I can resolve and I can follow a case by going to the more actions, and then you look out for the follow, which is this, and you click on it, and that will just just like in what you have in Twitter or in Facebook. So it will just set so that everything that happens to this case, you can see it on your feed. So that is how that works. How can I export a case to Excel? I can do that by going to the list of cases. So by clicking on cases, that will take you to active cases, and then I can, if I want to say I want to just export just one, I click on one or two, and then I can click on more actions, and you see export to Excel. So which you can select if it's going to be static worksheet, dynamic worksheet, or dynamic pivot table. So this is how you export to Excel in Microsoft Dynamics. I can send direct email messages by coming still from the more options. In a view, you can send direct message from here. So direct message is more like you want to send a message about these cases. So that will create an email with a template, and then we include, as you can see, send direct email to selected records on current. Okay, talking about running a workflow or a dialogue, you can do that by going to more commands, and then you see here the run workflow or run dialog. The difference between workflow and dialog is just the fact that dialog is more interactive compared to workflow. We're going to explain in details workflow and dialog in other videos, but how do you run a workflow dialog for a particular case? You click on that, and then that will gives you access to the workflow. Currently there is no workflow, so there is no workflow to run. The same thing applies to dialog. So if I click on start dialog, there is no dialog to run. Okay, the next one is about creation and maintenance of subject tree. What is a subject tree? Now if I open up a case, there is a field called subject. So like this actually has product, which if I try to change this, you will see that it has default subject query service, which you can actually drill down. So the product that I chose is this. So how do we actually create as a maintain this? Assuming on the sub product, for instance, I want to have something like product A or product B. More like a different category, like so say product A or product B, or even a different node entirely. How do we do that? So we do that by going to the settings. Now again, this is someone that actually has a privilege to do this. So from settings, you now go to the business management, and over there you look out for subject. So you click on subject. So at this point, you see that this is what we saw the other time, and when we clicked on, when we're trying to change the subject. So we have the default subject query and service identified. Drill down, you see everything here. So I can as well just create a sub as in node here. Add a subject. So I'm going to say under the parent subject product, I'm going to say product category cat A, and still under, you can see it's under here. I can still say well, still under here. I'm going to create another subject called product cat B. You can give a description if you like. And if I go back here now, you see under product we have the sub product that we created, product cat A and B. You can as well just create it as right from the top level, from the query level. So you can do the same by just clicking on add subject. You can edit selected object. So once you do that, it will be ideal to publish this. So we're going to go to customization on customize the system. So we're not going to change anything here. We only change the subject tree. So we're just going to publish all customization. After this, we now go back. We're going to make use of the recent viewed items, so which is something that comes, which is new with CRM 2016. So this will show us recent records. So this is the most recent record we worked on. So we're going to open that case, that particular record, which is a case, and we will change the subject and see if we have access to the newly created sub product or subcategory. So if you change this, under product, you see that we have product cat A and product cat B. So the next one is about how to define case stages. Now stage is actually related to the business process flow, which is what we have here. This process here is what we're talking about, which actually is about the stage about identify, research, resolve, and then the next stage kind of a thing. So if we're going to edit this, all you have to do is just to go to more commands or more actions, and then you click on edit process. Then you have the opportunity, if you have the right as in the privilege, you have the opportunity to actually edit that. So if you look at it, you see the name of this stage here is identifier, which is what you have here. If I drag down, so you see the next one, which is research. That's what you have here. So in here you can actually edit your process to match with your business rule. So you can specify whatever you want, but just to, as a note, or more like exam note, the maximum number of stage, what you have here, the maximum number of stage you can have on a business process flow is 30, and the maximum number of fields that you can have on a stage is 30 as well. The maximum number of entities that can participate in a particular workflow is 5. So you have to note that when you're trying to create or modify a process. So that wraps up this particular topic. Hope you've learned a lot, and thank you very much for your time. Watch out for the next video and please subscribe. Bye bye.